pretty big day planned. My coach has me down for a 4.5 hour run walk today. And you know what? I got this thing. I don't know, this is just me, but I got to do that first workout, you know, without eating. You know, fasting through that first workout. I'm dropping weight like a lot because of that. I know it is. And so anyway, today I'm looking at going, that 4.5 hour workout. I go, last week, or the whatever that was when I did the 4 hour workout a week or 2 weeks ago, and I fasted like for 2 hours of it. I never felt right that whole day. I just didn't feel right. It was I went too long and I had too much to do that day. And because I think I had a couple more workouts after that, and I didn't feel right. So today I came with this brilliant idea that I'm gonna do my little half-hour run walk. Half-hour walk that I do, you know, probably 5 to 7 times a week. That little tempo walk, so that I can get back here and then eat a big breakfast and then go into that 4.5 hour workout. So I'm not like in the middle of it trying to eat a bar. I mean, I really feel like to do that with quality, because you know what I mean? I need to get some good food in me. And so that's my strategy. So I'm throwing in that little half hour right now, and then I'm going to come back and eat big and then do the 4.5 hour. So brilliant. That's right. I just thought to myself, that's brilliant, Bill. All right, so I just finished my first workout of the day, my 2 mile tempo walk. You know, I'm trying to move along at a nice pace, but not kill myself. And I think if you could tell by my breathing that I killed no, just kidding, I didn't kill myself. Anyway, but the second mile, 13:57, starting to drop under 14-minute pace, which is really exciting because I'm not putting a lot more effort in. I'm just getting a longer, I ran into one of my buddies who's a real serious runner. I'm getting a longer gait. We call it the gait. I call it the gait now because it sounds like I know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so that was exciting. That's my first workout of the day. 28 minutes. I don't think it took much out of me. And so now I got a 4.5 hour walk run that I'm gonna be doing next after I walk further. And I'm definitely getting this big breakfast in because I want to fuel that 4.5 hour run with some serious food. Like I said, I didn't feel right the last time when I did that 4 hour, and I didn't eat for 2 hours, and I bonked, and I really never quite recovered from that bonk that day. I felt funny all day, and so I got to do strategy to not bonk, but still keep my, you know, my record alive that I'm fasting from my first workout. Anyway, I had the tiger. Oh, yeah, my buddy, he was a good college runner. He says, "Man, you're looking fit. You're looking fit." I said, "I'm sinewy." All right, heading for my second workout of the day. I like my strategy today. I did that little half-hour run walk, you know, brought it on my second mile, did that under 14-minute pace. Pretty happy with that. I think that's my new goal, is every time I can get under 14, 13 and change. Whenever I say 13 and change, that means usually about 13:58. If I say 13:04, 13:05, 13 minutes and 8 seconds, that means 13 minutes and 8 seconds. But if I say 13 and change, that could mean anything, but it really means probably 13:50s. Anyway, so I'm excited. 4.5 hour run walk. I feel good. I'm gonna just kind of wind my way around the lower part of Annandale, you know, where the fire didn't hit, and go back and forth, whatever it takes to get 4.5 hours in. Start at my house, finish at my house, maybe go back to my house once, I don't know, whatever it takes to get this 4.5 hour in. And I'm like, I'm pretty excited. I feel pretty fresh. I think it was good strategy. I actually did a shake. I I did a shake, a protein shake. I did like, I don't know, 5 or 6 egg beaters, with cheese and turkey. And then I did a bar and a half. It's like I'm not bonking on this run like I did last week, or I think that was last week or the week before, because that made for a long day. When you bonk, or when I bonk, it's not a quick recovery when you just deplete yourself down to nothing. It kind of screws me up for like the rest of the day or more in a big race. So yeah, I like my strategy today. We'll see what happens. And I have food too to carry. I'm gonna stick at my 1,800 calories though. And I'm planning on getting some yoga in and possibly some weightlifting after this 4.5 hour. Or yeah, that's my plan. I was talking to my buddy, he's done some fasting too, and he said exactly what I said. Like I told him the one day when I was really stressed and I really had a hard time, instead of calling it fasting, I called it starving. He goes, yeah, I've done a lot of fasting. And when you get that stress thing going, you get like kind of cranky. I go, yeah, I was kind of cranky that day. All right. So I'm 1 hour into my, actually 1 hour and 2 minutes and 57 seconds into my run, walk, 4.5 hour workout. And I got up to the park and they opened up the trails up to the lake. So it burned above the lake, but they were keeping everything closed for up till just recently. I'm not exactly sure when they opened it up, but I'm pumped up. How many times do I say that? And I can see the mountain bikers are pumped up, man. At least you can get a pretty decent workout in. I mean, if I do 2 loops here and stuff around this, it's a pretty good workout. I mean, I can get some hills going now, which is exciting to me. I'm not, when you're gonna climb mountains, you better start climbing some mountains. And I like them when they're real close to my house. So yeah, I have no problem doing 2 loops and stuff like that to get some good climbing workouts in, and running workouts. Arrowhead's got a lot of hills at the end of it, so I got to get ready for that too. So, but today I'm sticking on the flat because I still got Tuscobia, which is pretty darn flat from what I understand. So I got to keep working this flat and just keep my speed up and keep tempo and try and hold what I can, which so far is 15 and change. 15 and change means high 15s. Remember the code? And probably about 10, 20, low 10s for the run. So anyway, pretty happy, man. I love that this freaking part. Look how beautiful this is in here, man. This is one of the valleys. This would have went like crazy if the firefighters didn't stop it. It's so beautiful. Like I said, you can get up to that lake and go around that lake. It's pretty. You can get a decent workout in. All right. Everybody I pass has giant smiles on your face. It's like, we're not taking this mountain for granted anymore, man. There's no way. Yeah, we're not taking it for granted. This is a beautiful place, and we're all very fortunate and grateful to be here. I can tell by the big smiles on these mountain bikers' face when they go by. So one thing I was, like I said, I keep talking about is that yoga. They keep working you on the breathing, especially some of the classes where they really get you focusing on your breathing. And I was talking to one of the teachers, and he really works on the breathing. And I talked to him about it. He said, what most of us do is we especially like runners and stuff, you start hunching over, and just in life we hunch over more and more as we get a little bit, few more times around the sun. You know what I mean? And he said that. That's why you got to practice, getting yourself straight up and taking deep breaths, because that's what we're getting our lungs out of shape. We're getting our lungs out of shape by taking these shallow breaths. And so you got to practice, standing up straight and taking deeper breaths. That's like it's just like an exercise, So I'm working on that today, getting deep breaths in. That was practice. All right, I'm on the back side of the mountain. You can definitely cover some ground when you're doing a 4.5 hour run walk. Anyway, I just had a great chat with a ranger. It seems like this trail here goes right up and over the top of the mountain, at least. You know, it's probably the 2/3 or 3/4 of the way up, and it's like, you know, everything on this side of the park is good. It's all good, you know, 3/4 of the way up, it's good. And then he said even the stuff up above that burned, you know, your imagination always thinks everything burned. He goes, there's veins that burned, you know, where, you know, everything burns, and then right next to it there's another vein that's not burnt. And I go, well, that should heal up quick. But anyway, so this is running over this trail from my house. I can run over this and go back, and that's probably at least a 2-hour run. I mean, about an hour and, God, at least an hour and a half over to here and back. So like 3 hours, maybe more. I'm not sure. But that's great news, man. And they opened it up. You know, I thought they were going to be real conservative and wait forever to open this thing up. You know, they were, because I was hearing they got to study every tree and make sure branches aren't going to fall on people. Like, oh, they're never going to open this thing up. But they did, and you know, it's the obvious parts that are burnt are closed, which is the top, but the rest of this is all open, which is freaking awesome. I'm so fired up. All right. I never say fired up, and I'm fired up. All right. So I did good up to 3 hours today. I felt good. Actually, I felt okay up to, about 3 hours. And then I started to fade, and I couldn't remember what my calorie count was, so I kept my, I left my little fancy food log at home because that's a big food log. And anyway, my calories are still really low. I pretty much bonked. I made it home right here, 3.5 hours. I ate 2 things of oatmeal and I'm gonna have a shake and get right up to my 1,800 calories, and I'm gonna go out and finish my last hour and then maybe go lift weights. But I don't know why I have to push the envelope on this stuff just to see how far I can go keeping these calories down. And I get to where I'm like, eat chub, body, eat chub. And it's like, there's not that much chub left, you're getting sinewy. Anyway, I suffered through to get home, and then because I didn't have that much calories on me on my Camelback. So anyway, I'm loading up now, and then I'll go back out and do another hour. I'm also wearing these. I'm wearing these shoes that are the ones I'll wear. Remember, I've showed you those before, where I got the screws in the bottom. Well, these don't have the screws in the bottom, and I'm not used to wearing these. These are probably a pound. I think they're a pound heavier a shoe than my Hokas. And, you know, but these are the Gore-Tex North Face trail shoes that I've used in the snow. I mean, they're great for keeping my feet warm. I haven't lost any toes, which is how I rate my shoes when I'm in the snow. And, but they're heavy. I'm not used to them being heavy like this. Those Hokas spoil you. They're so light. They're stiff and they're heavy. That's just how they're made. And so it feels like I'm running around with lead weights on my feet. So I'll probably be wearing these a lot more, but not the last hour today. I'm going back to my Hokas. Good thing about running near the house. All right, I'm back on the move again. I took about a 35-minute break. I took 2 bowls of oatmeal and a protein shake. Put myself right at 1,800 calories, like on the nose. And I'm really stubborn about this 1,800 calories. It doesn't matter if I do 5 or 6 hours of training. It's like, 1,800 calories, you could do it, Bill. You could do it, Bradley. So I keep telling myself, I say, eat chub, eat chub. My buddy, like I said, he said, man, you look good. You mean I look skinny? He says, no, you look fit. I said, is fit like sinewy? You mean I look sinewy? He's a good runner, man. I like when he tells me I look good. Anyway, Eye of the Tiger, back at it. 50 minutes to go. All right, back up on the lower part of Annandale. It's getting kind of dark. You can tell I don't really have my dark outfit on for running across the roads. When people are dressed like me and they run across the road in front of me, I'm like, you idiot, I could have killed you. That's what I'm thinking to myself. You would have been a speed bump. And now I'll be that guy running home in the dark because I had to take that 35-minute bonk break. Anyway, and in black, I try and wear a white, or if not a vest. I like those vests, man. I just freaking, it's dark. It's dark. Anyway, the one thing I want to point out, and this, I learned this before. Look at that deer right there. Freaking got antlers. Those things kill more people than mountain lions do. The ones with antlers, because they fork you. Hey, anyway, so what I was saying was, when you hit those lows, like literally, I mean, I walked most of the last half hour home to, you know, when I came in there at 3:30, probably from 3 hours on, anyway, probably 20 something minutes of it I walked because I was like so weak. I'd run out of food. I kind of misjudged my food again. That's not unusual. I thought I had more in me than I did when I started that run, and I didn't have enough in my pack. But so I got in there. I got right to my fancy food log. You've seen it before. Looked it up. I said, wow, man, I still got calories to go. So I immediately, even though I was like really depressed, like, and I know a lot of you guys have had that feeling when you bonk or you're just overtired, and you can relate. But I was bonked, overtired, and I'm like, I want to stare at the noose. I want to stare at the noose. But I know from experience that if I get calories in me, if I can get calories in me and get moving again, you can get it back. And a lot of people quit races. I know that because they get in that low, just like I was in. Just that low I was in, you know, where I went back to the house. Fortunately, I lived close enough that I could get more calories. And you get in there and and then you get comfortable and you don't want to leave. But you know what? You got to have the eye of the tiger. You just got to. And you know that if you can get the calories in you and you get moving again, you can get that energy going again. And that's what I did. So I got, you know, like I said, 2 oatmeals, which were like 170 a piece. And then I had a shake, which was 160. So I don't know, like 500 calories. And I just ran another, I don't know if the Kenyans will be shaking in their boots, but I just ran another 10-minute mile coming out here. So I'm, you know, I'm back in the groove again. No more staring at the noose. Anyway, I better hurry up and get home because it's getting dark and I just got this black outfit. All right, you saw that. 4 hours and 30 minutes, 19.65 miles. The biggest key was the last 2/3 of a mile at 9:47 pace. It's just amazing when you get your body refueled. You could feel as good as new. I'm telling you, I've been in those 200-mile double century rides and sat there with people who were ready to quit. And I'm telling them, I'm like, you know, they're ready to get on the sag wagon and quit. I'm like, just, you got plenty of time. Just take a break for about an hour, eat, and you'll be fine, right? You'll recover and you'll go on. These are badass people doing 200-mile bike rides, right? They're fit. And you know how many people have listened to me on that? 0, 0, 0. They're like, hey, Sagwagon, pick me up. I'm bonked. But you guys will listen to me next time you feel like crap. Got to walk in a little ways if you're in a long enough race that you can recover and you got enough time. Get back out there, because once you start moving and you get that fuel in you, you feel like you're like 100% again. It's like, it's amazing stuff, actually. Amazing enough that I'm going to go lift weights right now. Oh yeah, and I'm getting sinewy enough and fast enough that when I ran across the busy road up there, I'm just like a blur, man. People didn't even see me in my dark outfit. I was just a blur. They had to just see me if they hit me. Anyway, eye of the tiger. So I got to tell you something kind of funny. So anyway, you know, I have a tendency when I train so much that I threw my wallet in the dumpster, right, just recently. And I used to I would lock my keys in the house, in the apartment all the time. And I'd call my house cleaner, go, hey, can you come over and let me in? She only lives a couple miles away. And she finally says, hey, Bill, I put like 3 Haida keys out there for you. And because I was bonked and all kind of screwed up, I locked the door again. And I was like, oh yeah, we got those Haida keys. I love her, man. She's so awesome. Makes me look brilliant, but I don't have to call her at 9 or 10 o'clock at night to come open my door anymore either. So I parked my car on the street because I knew I was cutting real close. That 4.5 hour run, I was going to have just enough time to dash to yoga. Like, look, literally, like, so I'm not even in the park. I didn't even want to take the time to go to the parking lot. It's like, get in the car, like the Batmobile or something, and get down to yoga. But because I had to take that 35-minute bonk break, I missed yoga. So I'm going to lift weights, which is great. I need weights too. But I do think the yoga is really, really helping me a lot. So, but had a bonk break. And it's Sunday night, so they just don't stay open that late. So to the gym. All right, so I'm at the 24-hour fitness, feeling good after my bonk. It's pretty amazing, actually. Every time when I do that stuff, it's like amazing to me how you can recover. You just eat a whole bunch of food and you get moving again and you start coming around. Anyway, when I was doing my little 2-mile, my little bonus workout that I try to do probably 5 to 6 days a week of that little bonus 2-mile power walk where I, try and do a tempo walk. Don't kill myself, but do a tempo. Anyway, I ran into one of my friends. He was doing a run, and he was a collegiate half-miler, keeps himself in great shape. Still, he still goes to the track and does regular track workouts, speed workouts. And he's talking about maybe going for nationals this year. Anyway, he asked me what I was doing, and I told him, I said, yeah, almost every day, 5 to 6 days a week, I do this little bonus 2-mile power walk, just a little half-hour walk. Doesn't take a lot out of me. I don't believe it affects my other workouts. And it's just this bonus. And I told him about how the guys, the number one guy at Humboldt State had that's what he was doing. He was doing this little half-hour workout, running. And those guys can jog 7-minute pace, and he was their number one guy on the team, but he always did a half-hour extra workout over the rest of the team. And he started naming those guys up there like he knew them. There was one guy, Conover. I don't know which guy it was, but Conover, I think, was there when my friend was a freshman, and he went to the Olympics. He's a badass. He could have been the guy. Who knows? I don't know. But he was, that was when he was a freshman, so I don't know if it was the number one guy the other years or not. But anyway, so I was telling him this story, and he goes, hey, I totally believe in that. He goes, he must have been involved or somehow with a local team around here, their cross-country team, because he said what they would do, and I guess probably in the summer, was they would run, the 6 or 7 guys who were on the team. One guy would run to the next guy's house, who would run to the next. They'd pick up so he'd pick up a guy, then they'd run to the next guy's house, then they'd pick him up, and then now there's 3 of them running to the next guy's house. They do this all the way and pick up all 6 or 7 guys, and then they would do their workout, right? And then they would do it, go back, and the guy who got picked up last would quit first, and so on and so forth. So the guy who always started first, he would end up last getting home, and he would run probably, an extra half hour. By the time he picked everybody up, it was 15 minutes, and on the way back, it was 15 minutes, so like an extra half hour. Guess what he was ranked on the team? Number uno. Is it a coincidence that he was running a half hour more than at least the last guy every day, and the last guy picked up? I don't think so. just finished my workout in 24-hour fitness. I can't tell you enough how much I love when you walk into a gym. It's like, 8:30 at night. I'm not a night person at all. And there's 20 people working out in there. It just feeds my workout because you got that energy. I say it every time. This is why I work out at these 24-hour fitnesses. Not only are they, and they're open late, you don't have to be rushed out of there, but they got serious weightlifters up in our area, and they bring energy in there, and you just kind of I just kind of coast along with their energy, and you don't want to sit there and slack when these guys are like working hard. So for me, I work hard. That was a long day though. 6 hours of training, 1,800 calories. Yeah. All right, I picked up Furley B, and I just got home. All right, there it is, man. Reliving it. There was the bonk I was only at 1,300 calories. That's why I bonked. I mean, it was 1,300 calories. I was, 3 hours in to a 4.5 hour walk run. Really bonked bad the last half hour. And anyway, made it in there. Got in here at like 4 hours or 4.5 hours. Like I said, that last half hour, I kind of walked most of it to try and get home. Lucky I was on this side of the mountain. And then chowed down on 2 bowls of oatmeal and a shake, and kicked some ass for that last 50 minutes I had left. I dropped a couple 9 and change miles running, and anyway, it was great stuff. So I was thinking about this thing, and it's like, here it is. So here's another freaking X on the chain. I was thinking, like, this looks like, I said, it looks like a tsunami, like a tsunami tidal wave. This is a tsunami tidal wave of determination. Look how big that looks, and look how small Tuscobia looks, even though that's a 160-mile run, pulling a 40-pound sled with your survival gear. Last year was like minus 20 degrees, but it looks small compared to the tsunami tidal wave of determination that's coming this way. By the way, I'm going to bed hungry tonight. 6 hours of training, 1,800 calories. I'm going to bed hungry and determined like a tsunami.